Will Levis is destined to have a breakout year next year, and I'm here to explain to you why. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Titans Rundown. I am your host, Micah McCamey, and in today's episode, we are going to be talking about Will Levis's future and why I feel like that it is almost destiny for him to break out. And we're also going to talk about something else before that. So, let's get right on into it. Starting out, this is the first subject, and I'm going to get to the Will Levis stuff in just a little bit, and I'll give you all my reasons towards why I think Will Levis is on the verge of a breakout year. But what I'm telling you now is about a video that I saw get released. I think it was about last week at this point. Actually, no, it was like Thursday. It released on Thursday, and I feel like that the Tennessee Titans community has kind of grappled onto it and has started to slowly hate it more and more as the days go on. I'm not going to say the name of the channel, but if you know, you know. The video is called "The Tennessee Titans Suck." It is... I don't know what on earth they were thinking about whenever they were researching that video, but it is one of the worst researched videos I have ever seen for the Tennessee Titans. And I watch national media stuff. At least the national media knows that the right side of the O-line is still in the battle right now. At least they know their offense has potential to be really good. They know that it's not going to be bottom 5 at the very least. At least most of them do. Some of them are not saying that because they have, hot takes or whatever. But at least they know that our cornerback room is good. Like, my gosh, how do you say that our cornerback room is weak? Our top 3 guys are literally 2 cornerback ones and one of the most underrated cornerback 3s in the NFL. So I just wanted to say that real quick, and I wanted to vent about it in a way because, I don't know, the video, I usually don't get bothered about that stuff, but, I had to say something about that video because, my gosh, it just was not my cup of tea. I think that they lost a few subscribers, especially judging by the comment section. There was even a Colts fan in there that said that they were underestimating us. A Colts fan! Those guys are the guys that are supposed to be our head rivals. The guys that aren't going to give us anything. I don't get that. So, I just wanted to say that before the video started. And I posted about it if you were curious. So, anyway, man. Alright, let's move on with this episode and talk about the positive part of this episode. Because that was probably the most negative that I'm going to get this entire video or episode. Alright? Will Levis is going to break out this next year. I am telling you right now, alright? Now, let's take a look at some of the stats that Will Levis had last year. He had a 58.4 completion percentage. He threw for 808 yards. No, not 808 yards. That would have been horrible. 1,808 yards. He threw 8 touchdowns, and he threw 4 interceptions while starting in 9 games. Now, I know that a lot of people are going to be like, well, Micah, those stats are horrible. Why on earth are you getting hyped up about this, dude? First off, let me make my point. Second off, what I'm saying about this is he did what he could with everybody around him being a bad supporting cast. DeAndre Hopkins was great. Derrick Henry also was great, as usual. But Derrick Henry is not a pass catcher. He's not going to help him out with that. The only way that he will help out is with play action, but he doesn't really go on the field that much, whenever we're actually deciding, hey, let's pass it. So, anyway, yeah, he has done everything that he can to help this team stay solid, So I am not worried about it. And I'll give you 3 reasons right now why Will Levis is set for a breakout year. All right, number 1, his supporting cast has been improved big time. This is the biggest thing by far. Will Levis had, again, like I said, horrible supporting cast. His left tackle Both of them were the worst left tackles in the league. I can't pick between which one was worse, but actually, no, Jalen Duncan was worse than Andre Dillard, which is shocking, I know. But if both of them were really, really bad, all right, left guard, Skronsky was developing. He had an appendectomy surgery. I think that's how it's pronounced. Aaron Brewer was not good in pass protection, all right? So I saw somebody call us going to Lloyd Cushenberry a lateral move. Shame on you. You don't know what you're talking about. That's the most aggressive I've came off on one of these episodes in a while. But right guard, it's a battle right now. But last year it was Daniel Brunskill, who was like, he's literally, like, I heard this comparison. He is literally just he's just a better Jack Gibbons on offense. Like, you know, you'll be fine with starting him, but you're not 100% confident that he's going to get the job done. And right tackle was kind of a looping door throughout the whole year. Radens did solid at the end of the year, but throughout the first little bit, Chris Hubbard was also pretty decent. Like, the right tackle situation, weirdly enough, was actually pretty solid for most of the season, at least. Not when MPF was in there. When MPF was in there, it was... But anyway, so the whole point of this is that he's got an improved O-line, all right? They replaced the horrible left tackle situation with J.C. Latham. They replaced our left guard. They kept our left guard, who has gotten bigger and who was an absolute mauler in the Jacksonville Jaguars game in Week 18. Then we replaced Aaron Brewer with Lloyd Cushenberry, who is not a lateral move, all right? I just need to put that out there right now. I still don't know who said that, but golly, that's a horrible take. Right guard is kind of a battle right now. It's between Dylan Radens, Daniel Brunskill, and Sadiq Charles. I'm pretty confident that Dylan Radens is going to come out on top of that. But I also wouldn't be shocked if Brunskill or Sadiq ended up on top as well. So we also have right tackle. There's a battle. Like, the right side of the O-line is probably going to be a little weaker this year. It's between Leroy Watson and NPF. And potentially if they need Dylan Radens, if push comes to shove, we're going to put we may end up putting Dylan Radens at right tackle. I'm not too sure if that's going to happen, but I'm just saying, if NPF is injured, Leroy Watson hasn't shown anything during training camp, that'll probably be our right tackle situation. Receivers. Okay, our receiver core was DeAndre Hopkins, trash, and more trash. It was DeAndre Hopkins. It was NWI, who's a good blocker, but he should not be a wide receiver, potentially 2 or 3 in the league. He should be out there as like a wide receiver 4 or 5, go out there whenever he needs to do blocking plays. That type of stuff, all right? And wide receiver 3 was Traylon Burks, who was a flat-out disappointment. And Kyle Phillips was wide receiver 4. I personally think he should have gotten more playing time, but I guess that the coaching staff really did not like him. So, yeah, you want to hear what the new receiver core is? It's Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, who we kept because he was the only good one in that receiver core, and Tyler Boyd. That is a great receiver core for Levis to lean on. I'm not mentioning tight end because tight end stayed the same, quite honestly. All right, and even the defense improved. All right, Christian Fulton. Oh man, who was the other dude in that secondary? Sean Murphy Bunting. That's who it was. Sean Murphy Bunting and Roger McCreary. Roger McCreary was the only good one. We kept him. We let the other 2 go. Chidobe Awuzie ended up being cornerback 2, who could be a cornerback 1 somewhere else, and L'Jarius Sneed, our cornerback 1, and one of the best cornerback 1s in the NFL. So, again, this is a really improved roster, and let me tell you, if Levis doesn't do well, he has no excuse. I'll tell you that, all right? Okay, now we move on to reason number 2. Coaching staff has been built around him. Brian Callahan, offensive-minded coach. known for his work with quarterbacks, was the offensive coordinator for one of the most explosive offenses in the league whenever their starting quarterback is healthy. And they hired an offensive coordinator that had 100% faith in him, that was very confident that he was going to end up being that guy. As you could tell by his first few interviews, he was just like, man, I left Jacksonville so that way I could be with this potential Super Bowl winning quarterback. Come on now, that's obviously, like, there's an obvious reason why he had to say that, you know? Sorry, Jags fans, it's just, Trevor Lawrence. Anyway, defensive coordinator is Denard Wilson. This one doesn't play as much into Will Levis, but it's just a good hire. Like, people have been begging for him to be a defensive coordinator, so I'm really happy that he ended up choosing us instead of other teams that probably should have hired him, like the Green Bay Packers. I would have chosen the Green Bay Packers if I was in that situation, if I'm being dead honest, but obviously, the Titans, like, he must have seen something special. And then, like, quarterback's coach was a potential offensive coordinator candidate, and receivers coach has been great for the past 15 years, and obviously Bill Callahan is Bill Callahan. Y'all have heard me rave about him. So coaching staff has been built around Will Levis, and that is another big reason why he should be able to break out this year. All right, number 3, and this one is this one gives him the most boost in morale, if you will. All right, Will Levis has the entire coaching staff and fans and owner and GM behind him. Everybody is behind this dude, all right? And I hope that he doesn't have a confidence issue. I'm confident that he won't have a confidence issue, though, because nobody is calling for his head, at least the people that know what they're talking about. And even if there are some people that think that he shouldn't be the starter, that's at least bulletin board material for him. So, everybody's behind him, all right? I'm behind him. Fan base is behind him, all right? The roster is behind him. I forgot to mention that one. Coaching staff is behind him, the GM is behind him, and the owner is behind him. The owner is very behind him, let me tell you that much. All right, that's the episode, all right? Just, going over what Will Levis can do, going over earlier on venting about a bad video. So, if y'all want to see what else I have Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I'm not calling it X. I'm sorry. But I have those 3. They're all under the Titans Rundown. And for people listening over podcast, I have a YouTube channel, and now you have a reason to go over and watch the YouTube channel because I'm posting Friday episodes. And this next Friday episode, actually, is going to be ranking every single NFL head coach, at least as of now. And some of the results that I ended up pulling out are very shocking. Let's just say that there's a specific one. It's about in the middle of the tier list that you would probably tell me that I was a complete idiot if you saw it. So, anyway, that's going to do it all for me. This has been a rundown of your Tennessee Titans. I love y'all, and tighten up.